Chicago Cubs offseason is definitely going to be an interesting one with Kyle Tucker on the market and most likely leaving the city. The Ricketts don't want to spend too much money, and to be honest, the Cubs offseason could either be pretty solid or an absolute disappointment. That being said, these are my picks for the Chicago Cubs offseason. Just off recent reports, I'm going to assume that Kyle Tucker does not re-sign with the club, so we're going to leave him off this offseason plan. In my opinion, the top priority for Chicago is easily the starting rotation and getting a true ace for the staff. I think Dylan Cease is one of the best fits because of his experience in Chicago, also being drafted by the Cubs back in 2014. While he didn't put together the best year of his career last season, he will provide decent strikeout stuff as an ace to start the season and a 2 when Justin Steele rejoins the team. Another option the Cubs have is Cease's teammate from San Diego, Michael King. I think King would be a great option to come in as a 2 or a 3 starter alongside Boyd and Imanaga. Like I said earlier, the Ricketts family doesn't want to spend too much money, so King might be a better option just off the fact that he's a cheaper option than Dylan Cease. My final option for Chicago would be Zach Gallen. Gallen has been linked to the Cubs in past deadlines over the last couple of years. Though he posted a mid-4 ERA last year, he has a track record of being one of the best pitchers in the National League, with his 2022 season ERA being 2.54. The next move I've predicted is something that the Cubs did last season with Colin Ray. You see, they signed Ray to be a long relief guy out of the bullpen, but he ended up moving into the rotation, and they do this a lot with guys like Javier Assad. I think Nick Martinez fits this mold perfectly for the Cubs. Throughout his career, he's definitely been a better reliever than he has been a starter, so that would definitely be a good piece for the bullpen, but also, if injuries come to the rotation, he could get some starts here and there. Going into 2026, the bullpen is basically empty right now, so they're going to have to rebuild it, and I think they should start by re-signing Brad Keller on a 2 or a 3-year deal. Keller was an amazing back-end guy last season for the Cubs, even closing some games towards the end of the season. I think he could continue to help the Cubs as a back-end setup guy over the next couple of years. Now we got to address the lefty situation. I think they should pick up Danny Coulomb on a 1-year deal and Caleb Ferguson on a 1 or 2-year deal. Both overall are decent lefties who could give them some solid innings out of the bullpen. Coulomb had an ERA in the low 2s last season, as well as Ferguson being a decent middle relief guy. An interesting and cheap idea I think the Ricketts could take a chance on is a guy like Hunter Harvey. He barely pitched in 2025, but he's had some solid relief seasons in the past, posting mid-2 ERA seasons in 2022 and 2023 with Washington. Overall, I think he could be a 6th or 7th inning guy out of the bullpen just to eat some innings. Now let's move on to the offense. Without Kyle Tucker, a guy like Owen Casey, their top prospect, will have to come up and play right field. Him and Seiya Suzuki will have to play right field, but when Seiya Suzuki's not playing right, he will be splitting time at DH with Moises Ballesteros. In about 20 games this year, Moises Ballesteros posted an 850 OPS, so he could definitely be an impact bat this year for the Cubs. I think the main needs for the Cubs is honestly some depth in both the infield and the outfield. First, let's look at a backup third baseman. I think they should pick up a guy like Ramon Urias. The Astros just DFA'd him a couple days ago as of this recording. He has some decent pop, hitting to a 723 career OPS. He plays some solid defense, and I think he could be a decent bat off the bench for the Cubs. I think another big need the Cubs have is a right-handed backup outfielder. Kevin Alcantara is the 5th-ranked prospect in their system, and I think he could do the job, but also I think a Major League ready guy like Randall Grichuk could also fit this mold. One of the Cubs' biggest weaknesses in 2025 was how much they struggled against left-handed pitching all season. Grichuk could provide some decent pop against lefties off the bench and give guys like Owen Casey a day off in the outfield. He posted a 734 OPS in the first half with Arizona before he fell off with Kansas City in the second half. The most encouraging part is his track record with a few 20-30 home run seasons throughout the late 2010s, and I think it could be a solid bench pickup as he enters his age 34 season. When looking at my predictions, it doesn't seem too crazy. I definitely thought about adding a guy like Kyle Schwarber with his connection to the Cubs in the past, but I honestly don't think that's going to happen with the Ricketts. It's still also a possibility that they do re-sign Kyle Tucker, but I really don't think that's going to happen. I don't think anybody really thinks that's going to happen either. But with these predictions, let's look at the final team going into 2026. I have the starting rotation being Cade Horton, Matthew Boyd, Shota Imanaga, Jameson Taillon, and then the last piece would either be Dylan Cease, Michael King, or Zach Gallen, depending on who signs. Let's move on to the bullpen. Daniel Palencia will be closing games for the Cubs to start the season. Other than that, Nick Martinez, Colin Ray, Brad Keller, Porter Hodge are the righties. There will be one more righty, and that will be a spring training battle between Hunter Harvey and Javier Assad. Then finally for the lefties, it's Danny Coulomb and Caleb Ferguson. With Kyle Tucker departing, the offense will be slightly weaker, but they will be running some platoon options. Alright, around the diamond, starting at catcher, it will be a split between Carson Kelly and Miguel Amaya. Michael Busch will be the first baseman, Nico Horner at second, Matt Shaw will start at third, and Dansby Swanson will play short. Ian Happ roams left field, as well as Pete Crow Armstrong in center. The first platoon they'll be running is Seiya Suzuki and Owen Casey in right. Then the DH platoon will be a split between Moises Ballesteros and Seiya Suzuki as well. Moving on to the bench, it will be one of the catchers who isn't playing, so either Carson Kelly or Miguel Amaya. Same thing with the other platoon, it will be Casey or Moises Ballesteros on the bench. Then Ramon Urias, who will play backup infield. Now, similarly to the bullpen, there will be a spring training matchup between Kevin Alcantara and Randall Grichuk for the backup outfield spot. Overall, let me know if these predictions are good in the comments. Also, let me know what team you want me to do next. Subscribe.